Hey everybody, how's it going today? It's me, Cap10NRG. Today I'm going to take you for a tour of my studio. Unfortunately, I was having a tough time videoing the tour because my studio is so small. It's about 11 by maybe 12 or 11 by 13-ish feet. And with all these desks and equipment I have in here, it's really hard to get everything on, in front of a camera and get the lights moved around the room. Typically, you'll notice that when I do my videos, I'm in one place and you can see the desk or you can see, my hands or whatever, but you can't really see the rest of the room because it's just so jammed in, and I just don't want to look so claustrophobic for you guys, even though it's very tiny. Anyway, so what I did was I took photographs, and I'm going to go through the pictures with you and kind of point out what's what. And with that said, I want to get started. If you have any questions about any of the equipment that I show you in this video, feel free to hit me up in the comments. If this is the kind of content that you like, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and it really helps me out. All right, let's get into this. All right, so here we are in the studio. This is my, I refer to this as the Korg corner, where I have my Korg MS2000 rack mount, my Korg Micro, and my Korg Minilogue. I also have an Akai Force here, which I use. I will hook up to these, and I will kind of run the audio into the Akai Force to record. I've got a set of speakers. These are some Sterling monitors. They're not the best in the world, but they're pretty good, and I like them, and they were inexpensive. I bought them at Guitar Center when I was moving and didn't have access to my Rocket 5s, my KRK Rocket 5s. They were just kind of temporary, but they sound good, and I've kept them. This unit here has a vocoder on it. It sounds really nice. Up here you'll see that I have my Akai MPK 249. This is just the red special edition controller that I have from Akai. I love Akai's stuff, so we've got quite a bit of Akai gear. Most of it you'll see here. Over here you'll see my this is kind of my shelf of many things. I've got some shelves going on here. We've got an extra Behringer patch bay. Right here we have a Focusrite 18i20, which is my backup, and I do use it on different machines at different times, but I have one of these in my current setup that I use all the time. A Focusrite Sapphire, which I had before I had the 18i20. This I still use with my older Macs that use Thunderbolt or Firewire. All right, I have my Circuit Rhythm and my Circuit Tracks. The Circuit Tracks is actually not in the box right now. The Rhythm actually is. So you'll notice the tracks out and about somewhere else here in a minute. And I have my Alesis MEQ 230. I've had this since, I don't know, since my house burned down in 1996. My brother actually gave this to me. And I've had it since then. Down next shelf we have my Sonicware gear. Here you will see my, you can't really see them that well, but I'm going to tell you what's here. I've got my MegaSynthesis right here. I've got my LoFi 6 right there. Next I have the Ambient 0, my LoFi 12 XT, and my other LoFi 12 XT in the case right here. It's got a Ziploc zip case. I have one SMPLTrek right here and my other SMPLTrek in this zip case. I got these cases with the LoFi XTs because they were coming with them, but I split them and gave one to each of these two devices so they'd be able to, one would hang out in there and one would hang out in the open where I use it all the time. I also have my CyDrum right here, my ELZ1 Play right here, which is the most like an OP1, in my opinion, device made by Sonicware. It's a 4-track recorder, and it's also an instrument, so it's got a bunch of different instrument sounds. It's got a built-in 4-track recorder. You can use it with external devices or vocals and record into it and make projects with it. It's pretty amazing. This thing does a lot for a little device like it is. I really enjoy using that. You can also see down here, you can see my Texture Lab, and I've got my Behringer Wave. All right, yes, and I can see more of the same stuff again. Right here I have my Do-Re MIDI devices, my 5-channel, 5-channel out, 1 channel in, 5 channels out splitter. I also have my USB to MIDI interface where I can hook up, for example, like a JT4000 to a MIDI port. They don't normally have MIDI ports. The originals didn't anyway. The new ones do. but you know, this was the way to get that to work. We got my Model D right here. This was my first Behringer synth, and I loved this thing. This is what kind of was my gateway synth into all the other Behringer synths that I got later on. It's on top of the Toro. The Toro's here in the box. I just have it in this so it doesn't get dusty. I've got one Phara-O here and another Phara-O here. I've got a JT Mini right here and another JT Mini underneath it. All right, and we have a, let's see here, that's my Pro VS Mini right there. Okay, so that's all those. We have my TD3 right over here. My other TD3, I have a silver and a red one. There's one TD3, here's another, and I have a TD3 MO, the AM version with the yellow, bright yellow. I love that one, it's so pretty. I love that color on it, it's so cool. It sounds great too, but I mean, the color just was like, whoa, this is awesome. And here's my TD6, or sorry, RD6, my Rhythm Designer 6. It's like a 606 drum kit. Sounds really good, great for rock or like disco type music. Down here we have my Behringer Odyssey and my Behringer Monopoly, and we get a better look at them right now. We've got my Odyssey here, my Monopoly. Here's my RD8, my RD9, and two JT4000s right down here. These are the original. Neither one has MIDI port built in. That's why I have that converter up top, so I can hook that up to MIDI without actually having to use USB for them. Particularly helpful in a mobile setting when I'm using it with a device other than, like for example, if I want to do it, I hook it up to the SMPLTrek and used it off there and have both of them playing on channels controlled by MIDI. Pretty awesome. Here we have my guitar. I do play guitar. That was like probably my second instrument. My first instrument was trumpet, which let's just pretend that never happened. Here's my guitar, and here are my dulcimers, which I enjoy a lot. I have a D-tuned one and a G-tuned one. I also have an acoustic guitar from Ovation. I love that. And I also have a bass that goes with this. I have a 5-string Ibanez bass, as well as I have an acoustic bass that you probably saw in one of my videos if you've been here a while, that I paid $99 for off of Amazon. And I was just seeing how a $99 bass sounded, and I thought it sounded pretty darn good. And there is the bass I was just talking about. It's blue. It's acoustic 4-string. Sounds very nice for a $99 bass, and it plays very well. I would recommend it. It's also electric if you want to run it into an amplifier, or if you want to record it. It's got built-in contact mic. So on top here of this shelf, this is kind of not the picture I wanted to show first, but we'll get there. We'll kind of just go through them as they happen here. Over here behind these wires, you can't really see it, but there's an Akai Uno Synth Pro. And here's the Akai Uno Synth Pro desktop model. Let me go back one more, see if I've got a better picture of that. Yeah, it's in the box. I use the one with the keyboard more frequently, but yeah, this is the smaller one. I got both these during the pandemic. They're my favorite synthesizers to come out of the pandemic, actually. Aside from that, I have the full producers pack here from Behringer, the Crave, the Grind, the Edge, and the Spice, all 4 of those synthesizers right here. And by the way, a little tip for you: if you've got an Aldi near you and you stop in there sometime, they have these pan arrangers that, I don't know what to call them, but they're pan organizers, I guess, where you can buy these little sideways shelves that you can put pans in, so pans will stand up straight and it won't waste a bunch of vertical space when you have them in your cabinets. Well, those organizers work fantastic for keeping your synthesizers in a way that you can see them, and they're not wasting a bunch of space on your desktop or your shelves either, as you can see here, because this keeps them nice and neat. I can get to them when I want them, and they're easy to see and easy to access. Also right here we have a complete Audio 6 interface from Native Instruments. Nice interface, very easy to use, and I take that with me when I travel a little bit and I need an interface to go with me. Here is my Behringer UBX, very nice synthesizer, really enjoy that one. MODX Plus, which I bought. Don't mind the WD-50, that's not actually for the studio, that's for the wheels on my chair. So you don't hear me rolling around making squeaky noises. But let's see, the MODX Plus I bought because there were rumors that Yamaha was going to have a release with the AN1X engine, and that never actually happened. So I ended up buying this synthesizer and using it anyway. I do love it, but it did never get that AN1X synth. So what are you gonna do? Especially the part that was most disappointing was that I already owned this Montage right here, which essentially this was moved up to be basically compatible with the Montage as far as capabilities. The audio quality is definitely different between the two. The Montage far superior, but I like the kind of, I'll say, I don't know, crunchier sound this has too. So it's kind of neat. It's almost like a little warmer sounding in some ways. I don't know. Sometimes great quality sound is overrated. This is my 32 channel Yamaha mixer, and you can see I have it right here. I stuck this white dry erase tape. You can use dry erase markers on it, and it lets me label up what's going on, so when I'm working on a project I can easily find the volume knob I'm looking for. This mixer has 4 send buses that you can use to export your different channels so that you can separate your mix that way. Pretty handy when you're using this mixer with the sampler, or you're trying to record a multi-track to be able to select channels and send them out to different buses. This unit also has built-in effects that can be controlled from my iPhone or from my tablet, so that's kind of a nice feature as well. And here we are at my Akai MPC 61 key. This is my favorite synthesizer, my favorite sampler really, I should say. It does have some built-in software synthesizers, and I think that's fantastic. Super capable. It's probably my desert island synth, I think, because of all that it can do, especially now with MPC3 coming out and being able to record, and that RAM isn't as important as just basically having storage on board, because now it can stream from the hard drive. Here we are looking up at the top here. We have my daughter got me this neon sign, which is pretty awesome. I love that. These are my monitors. I typically use these the Yamaha 5-inch monitors, the H5, I think that's the name of them. I can't remember the model number, but they sound really good. And these are my Rocket 5s. These might actually be 7s. I can't remember. I have to look it up. But the Yamaha, anyway, they're $200 per speaker. They sound really well, really nice, very flat, good to mix with. My Rocket 5s, same thing, feel the same way about them. My one Teenage Engineering piece of gear, with a little sampler, my daughter got me that, and it's probably the only thing I'll ever buy from Teenage Engineering. Sorry, Teenage Engineering, you're just not really on my list of things that I really like. Here's my Yamaha SEQTrak, one of them. This is the second one. The first one, the original one, is upstairs in my room. I know that because it fell once and has like a nick on the corner here. This is probably my favorite, travel music sketch device. I love them. They sound really good, AWM synthesis, and then they have sampling, and they have a DX, an engine on there, a DX engine, so you get that DX7 kind of sound. MIDI in and out. It's super awesome. Battery powered, has a built-in speaker. I don't know. It's probably one of my favorite toys type thing that you can actually make real music with too. All right, now this picture is kind of a little chopped off. It's supposed to go the other way around, but I'm going to go with this from here. Here's my Yamaha CS1X. I love this synth. It was the first synthesizer I got after my house burned down in 1996, and I used it. I've been using it since then. Thing's been amazing. Great synthesizer. The AN1X right here was my second synthesizer after the house burned down, other than my sample cell, which I did have a sample cell also. But yeah, this synth is still amazing to me. I love the sounds it can create. Both of these are pretty much the 90s in 2 keyboards right there. And if you go to the CS6X right here, you've got the whole package. And here's the CS6X. Here's the CS2X right behind it. I just got this one about a year ago, but this CS6X, that thing is just like one of my favorite keyboards. That's kind of my ride or die synth, you know what I mean? I've had that forever, and I will probably have it till I'm done. See, I think that's pretty much everything you can see here. A couple things you can't see is right under here. You can see a little bit, I guess, right here, I think. The Arturia MiniBrute 2, that's what it is. And that synth I really don't do a lot with, to be honest. And my MX49 is on the top shelf of this right here, but I guess I did not get a picture of that. No big deal. But that's pretty much what I've got going on here, other than my my Montage M, which is in the other room, and I didn't take pictures of either. But yeah, that's what I've got going on. As far as microphones, if you want to know what I use for microphones, I use the Rode NT1 first generation. I also use the Rode NT1 fifth, I think it's the 5th generation, and it's the anniversary edition. It's USB and it's 32-bit. That's what I'm using right now, but I'm using it in analog mode, not with the digital USB-C wire that it came with. I'm using it with XLR. I also have a Rode NT2 and a Blueberry Spark. Those are my microphones. My computer is a Lenovo i9 Legion with 96 gig of RAM, about 12 terabytes of storage online in it. And yeah, that thing, you can throw a lot at this machine and you will not see it flinch. It does not flinch. As far as controlling all these keyboards, I have a MIDI-Man 16x16 MIDI controller, and I also have a MIDI Express 128. And aside from the 32-channel mixer, which I showed you, I have a 10-channel mixer which I use for my videos because it has a USB audio capture on it. So what happens is I use that to record the audio. I run everything into that and record the audio for my videos. I needed more channels on my 32-channel mixer, believe it or not, so I got a couple of the 16-channel Euro, it's the Behringer Euro Rack Mix. They're a 16-channel stereo mixer with no real bells and whistles. They're more like just panning and volume, with one effects send channel. And overall, they're not a crazy capable mixer in a sense, but they're great. They give me just what I need: basics, audio in, and volume control. And then it gives me one send to an effect if I need to use it. And they're only $120 a pop. So I mean, you could technically buy one of these to start off with, buy a second one when you need more channels, and just build your own little custom rig if you're okay with not having EQ on your channels. A couple other things I guess I'll tell you. I use Hosa cables. Thousands and thousands of feet of cable are here, I can assure you. And I would say 97% of them are Hosa, except for a few that are kind of generic-y Amazon, you know, inexpensive Amazon cables. Sometimes I buy some of those just to fill certain needs, like USB cables and stuff I'll buy, and occasionally I'll buy the inexpensive stereo splitter cables just to, you know, use with smaller pieces of gear. I think that's pretty much it. Cubase, Reason, those are my main DAWs. I have a ton of VST synthesizers. We can get in that in another video. If you have any questions, hit me up and I'll be happy to answer. And that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think of the studio. Is there anything you have specific questions on? Would you like to see me do a video for any particular piece of gear that's on, you know, in the video? Let me know. I'd be glad to try and answer any questions or show you whatever you'd like to see. All right. Have an awesome day. Thanks for hanging out with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you soon. Bye.